and let us all do we can to build a better future. With that being said, Daniel, you got a story for the people. Yeah. What is going on, buddy?
Okay, I have a story that comes also about Joe Biden. Comes from our good friend Case Study.
Case Study QB.
Yeah, he is a quarterback. So this one is about a change of the Afghanistan war protocol. What do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at the video.
Had a history of being a skeptic on Afghanistan and Afghanistan's leaders. Yesterday, he suggested he did want to remove all the troops out of Afghanistan. Not something that I support, but something that a lot of people on the left and the far right do support.
Yeah, and this was an overlooked big moment yesterday, Joe, and I'm glad we're talking about it. He said that the U.S. would not meet the May 1st deadline that President Trump had set to remove all troops from Afghanistan, but he said that it wouldn't be so much longer after that. And this is a big deal. Biden, of course, was tasked with Afghanistan and Iraq. That was part of his portfolio as vice president. He was the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. This is, we know how personal issues of veterans are to him. His son, Beau, of course, was a veteran. And this is indeed a significant and a shift. And when asked, he didn't give a firm date, but he said it would be hard to imagine American troops still being in Afghanistan once the calendar turned to 2022. And certainly there'll be debate on both sides about the wisdom of that decision, but it's a significant one and changes and draws to a close 2 decades worth of American foreign policy.
So there you have it. So Trump had organized a withdrawal date in May, which was obviously intended to screw with whoever came after him. Biden. But it was a withdrawal date, something for a war that we've been in for 20 years that we're not going to win. The same reason we couldn't win the Vietnam War, the same reason the British could not beat Washington. People, they just wouldn't surrender. They're not going to surrender. Taliban is well organized in that sense. They're going to survive. They're going to keep surviving. And all we're doing is spending blood and treasure that we could be spending in America. Maybe not the blood part of it, but we could be doing that. Instead, we're still going to be in Afghanistan. Now, Biden said, look, we're going to get him out. I can't think of a reason why it would take till 2022. Well, that's always how they talk about it until something happens. Oh, no, there was a car bomb went off somewhere in the country, in Afghanistan. Guess we got to stay another year. Sorry, guys. They're just pushing it back. They're pushing it back after the previous administration pushed it back after the previous administration pushed it back. We're going to be in Afghanistan.
Yeah. And I really am insulted by the fact that, again, they bring up the fact of Biden and his son and how this is personal to him. If this is personal to him, we cannot forget that this was the same Joe Biden as a senator who voted for the damn war in Iraq. This is the same Joe Biden who has continued to implement the policies of the war on terror from the previous Bush administration when he was Obama's vice president. And since then, all this has been carried on. Obama and Joe Biden could have stopped this. They could have ended the occupation in Afghanistan and Iraq. But what did President Barack Obama do? What did Vice President Joe Biden do at the time? When Obama was president, they led us to 2 wars to 7. We're going to still be in Afghanistan in 2022. And Trump, while he is all these horrible things, at least he had a date. Would he have followed through if he got reelected during this previous election cycle? That's a big question mark. I would like to think that maybe yes. But knowing how we are stuck in a neoliberal, neoconservative system, we're going to be in these forever wars, because if we leave one theater, we're going to still be in 6 other combat theaters as well.
I want to quote Lawrence Johnson on this. I think this is a great question at this point in time. Should we be talking about statehood for Afghanistan, since we've had control of them for so long?
20 years. 20 years in Afghanistan.
You got to watch.
Yeah. Watching Afghanistan. It didn't have to be this way, and future generations will look at us and wonder, how come we wasted all this treasury? How come we wasted all these resources when we could have had affordable education? We could have had investment into our infrastructure. War is a drain, and we are stuck in it for 20 years. How many more years left are we going to be in Afghanistan? 5 more years? 10 more years? It's one big question mark, but I do know this. All the lives lost, these were lives lost in vain. And Biden and his administration should follow through with the promise of removing us from Afghanistan and Iraq immediately, as well as in all the other theaters as well. But seeing as how we have a corrupt neoliberal system where money is speech and corporations are people, the military-industrial complex will have its way and will have the final say.